We would like each candidate to open with a statement.
Thank you and good evening.
This is about choices.
It is a roadmap to our future.
Our region is ideal for growth.
The most pressing needs:
Economic development,
low income,
public policy,
good paying jobs,
steady and consistent growth.
I see that there are great opportunities.
We can grow tomorrow's corporate giants.
Strength of local communities.
Community.
Community.
Good evening, and again, on behalf of the Amite, Ponchatoula, and Greater Hammond Chambers of Commerce and Southeastern Louisiana University Student Government Association, thank you for joining us for tonight's forum featuring candidates for Tangipahoa Parish President. We hope you were able to speak one-on-one with the candidates and, of course, some of the 30 other candidates and the many other races that are going on here in the parish. Of course, very important. With so many important elections on October 24th ballot, co-host felt that hosting a meet and greet would be a valuable means for allowing candidates to share their perspectives with the electorate. And now for tonight's forum, questions were submitted for consideration by chamber members, members of the chamber's governmental affairs committees, and members of the general public. A question review panel then reviewed prioritized those questions. The chambers and SGA truly appreciate your willingness to share your understanding of the local topics that are of a paramount concern to Tangipahoa Parish. Our candidates this evening are Robbie Miller and Carlos Notriano. Please join me in welcoming them tonight as they enter the stage. Thank you. And as mentioned before, each candidate will get a short time to do a brief introduction. So we are going to start with Mr. Notriano.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank Southeastern for offering this wonderful facility to us tonight. It's a great place to be. So thank you to those in charge of that. Also, I'd like to thank the area chambers of commerce for hosting such an important event for our parish. And most of all, I'd like to thank you as citizens of the parish for coming out tonight. I know everybody has busy schedules. On October 24th this year, you'll go to the polls and elect a new parish president. What I'd like for you to do as voters of this parish is take a long look at the two candidates. It's a very important election. You've had an opportunity in the recent months to catch glimpses of our campaigns. Hopefully tonight, some of these questions that are proposed and some of the answers that we give will help you make a really clear choice on October 24th of who you think needs to serve the parish in the next 4 years and beyond. So, with that being said, my name is Carlos Notriano. I am a lifelong resident of Tangipahoa Parish. I've been married for 33 years to the former Kim Murray of Ponchatoula. We have 2 children, Megan and Tyler. We're all members of Holy Ghost Catholic Church. I urge you to pay close attention tonight to these questions that are posed to these 2 candidates. Thank you.
Thank you to the chambers. Thank you to my alma mater, Southeastern, SGA, and to all of you for being here. I hope tonight you'll get to know me a little bit better and you'll be able to see a clear distinction between myself and my opponent. Over the next 1 hour, you will have an opportunity to hear our thoughts and our ideas about the parish. As I look out over the audience, though, I see many of you that I've served with over the last 30 years. On boards, on committees, coaching Little League. Maybe I've even done technology work for you and your company. You know me, you know I work hard, and you trust me. Experience does matter, but it's got to be the right experience. I understand this job. It's an executive position, not a legislative position. It's about leadership, vision, and direction for the parish. It's about expanding our economic opportunities. It's about protecting our quality of life for all of the citizens here. I understand this job. I'm ready for this job. I have the energy, the commitment, and integrity, and I'm ready to do it. Thank you.
Okay, our first question is going to go to Mr. Notriano first. The question is, What specific qualifications do you have that make you the best candidate for parish president?
Look, 28 years of business experience is paramount. Tangipahoa Parish is a large business. I've served 12 years on the council, and I can tell you, parish government is responsible for 33 different funds. Those funds have to be maintained on a monthly and annual basis. Business experience is huge. I think probably my strongest attributes to my candidacy is the fact that I have served in parish government. I've served 12 years over District 8, 3 of those years as president of the council, 3 of those years as president of the Tangipahoa Parish Drainage District, 2 of those years as president of the Rural Fire District number 2. I've put myself through the Lorman course for advanced land use and planning for Louisiana, as well as served as chaired many ad hoc committees and served on several committees. Parish government isn't easy. It's something to really be reckoned with, and this particular seat is going to be something that there's going to be a learning curve. For someone to come in and never serving in parish government before, the ideology can be there, but the practical part of being parish president is going to have to be something that is already earned and learned, and that's what makes me the most qualified candidate, I feel. I can tell you right now, as I canvass this parish from north to south, I've done this twice, once in 2011 and once present day. And I can tell you that when you go to each municipality, there's a different set of problems because we have such a diverse parish. But I know in my heart that I do have the qualifications to take this job and on day one hit the ground running. Thank you.
I'll go ahead and repeat the question. What specific qualifications do you have that make you the best candidate for parish president?
Well, like I said in my opening, this job is an executive job. It's not a legislative. My whole career, 30 plus years, I've been an executive. I've been a chief executive officer for my company. I've been a chief information officer for many companies, many of your companies. I've been chief information officer for several government agencies. I've worked with the federal government, the state government, and local government throughout my career. Not being a politician, not being a career politician, is absolutely an asset to this job. I don't come with any preconceived notions about how things are supposed to be done. We're looking for continuous improvement to make sure our parish advances, that we have innovative opportunities to grow, that our parish we go through the process of everything that we do to improve it. That's all I've done my whole career. Whenever I go to work for someone, I have to learn their business in and out to be able to help them. And I've done that over and over, hundreds, probably thousands of times. And I know that the parish is ready for that, and I'm ready to do it for the parish.
Okay, our second question is going to go to Mr. Miller first. If you are elected, what is your plan to attract industry to the area, and what specific steps to implement your plan will you take within the first 100 days? Great, thank you. When I'm elected, I will continue the economic development opportunities that I've had as the chairman of the Hammond Economic Development Board. But one of the specific things, the economic development is a very relatively slow process, but there's some things we can do. We know our assets for the parish. I can list them, Carlos can list them, but the assets of the parish, but we're 1 hour from 3 convention centers, the Gulf Coast, New Orleans, and Baton Rouge. We can find the companies that are coming there, i.e. Airport facilities or avionics or whatever is coming to New Orleans. We can bring those people to Tangipahoa Parish a day or two early to show them our assets, to show them our great quality of life, our great people, the airport, with an airport tower that I happen to be part of the group that helped get it here. Those people will know us whenever those short lists start to get developed about being here. We'll start that day one working on that. We'll also invest more in we'll go through the budget. We'll ask for budget amendments to make sure that economic development is funded properly so that we can do these things. That's not an expensive role the way I explained to do it though. Those people are going to come on their own. We just have to get them here and take care of them for a day or two. Thank you. Would you like me to repeat the question?
Please.
Okay. If you are elected, what is your plan to attract industry to the area, and what specific steps to implement your plan will you take within the first 100 days?
When I am elected, I will continue attracting business as I did for 12 years as councilman for District 8. I was very instrumental in attracting the Walmart Distribution Center in Robert, Louisiana as a freshman councilman. And we don't have enough time for me to tell you that whole story, but I'm here to tell you that I've got documented proof that I stayed in constant touch with Mr. Brad Green with Walmart companies and helped bring that into Robert, Louisiana, which was a huge, huge addition to this parish. I can tell you right now, $479,000, ladies and gentlemen, that is the EDF budget for St. Tammany Parish. To date, Tangipahoa Parish has $109,000 in the EDF budget. That's unacceptable. You cannot sell this parish from a desk here on Martin's Drive. Although we have a great staff in TEDF and we have a great location, and incidentally, it will remain here at Southeastern because it's a great, great place for it to be. I can tell you right now that as parish president, I will do two things. First of all, to attract business, we have to make our parish attractive. We have growth corridors. We have tons and tons of attributes that we can offer a company wanting to come in our parish. Adjusting the budget to make sure that we apply a travel budget to our director is going to be paramount. I know for a fact, I'm accustomed to the budget, and I know that I will do the right things to adjust the budget to make this happen.
This next question will start with Mr. Notriano. Do you support a comprehensive land use plan for the parish? If so, describe your plan.
I absolutely do, and let me just tell you this. In 2006, the Baton Rouge Foundation partnered with parish government. Post-Katrina, the Baton Rouge Foundation picked 3 parishes in the state of Louisiana as model parishes that did not have master plans. And just remember, master plans are a broad plan that you cast over a whole parish. There are different components to a master plan, so don't be confused by planned growth or zoning. Now, let me just tell you this. We did enter into that contract and into that agreement with Baton Rouge Foundation. We have a great planning department. We did adopt that plan. We did move that plan forward. However, we had some issues when that plan started to move forward in terms of the different areas of the parish and what was needed in those areas and what was not needed in those areas. We did have some differences of opinion from the council people, as well as the people on the committee, as well as the people in the planning department. Fact is that we do have a engineered master plan in place, and as parish president, I will revive that plan and make sure that we're getting all that we can out of that plan. It is a great tool to move us into the next 10 or 15 or 20 years. One thing you got to remember is that when the federal government looks at a different county or parish in terms of any types of grant money that can be available, one of the main things they want to know is, what are you going to do with that money? If you're sitting there without a plan, an engineered plan, shovel-ready project, so on and so forth, there's no way you're going to get that money. So the fact of the matter is I will enhance that master plan, and I will, day one, start working with the planning department to move it forward. Thank you.
I was there too in 2006 and 2007 as a candidate for Tangipahoa Parish president. And I went to many of those meetings, and it was it didn't go very smooth, but people started to understand and learn that there was a possibility that we needed a master plan. For whatever reason, the council at the time, the administration at the time, the people decided that they didn't want it. I think today, if we go to do it again, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to put it in front of the people, but we're going to have to reconstitute some input from the constituents, from our elected officials. But more importantly, we see that on the south end of the parish that there might be a real need for true zoning. But the people need to decide that, and they need to help our council push to do that. And I'm willing to help the people do it because I'll provide the leadership and the vision and the direction. I'll help build a consensus that brings our parish to the top and make our parish the best that it can be in the state. Thank you.
Okay, this next question is going to go to Mr. Miller first. What specific expenses related to the jail should be paid by the parish?
Well, first, what expenses to be paid by the parish for the jail? Well, the state of Louisiana has a constitution that tells us that we have to take care of the inmates. It's constituted at a minimum of $3.50 a day. I think that we need to make sure that the sheriff is paying for whatever the constitutional law says he needs to pay. And then there's going to be some gray area. And I think whenever you have leaders who can sit down together, who can collaborate together and come up with the amount that needs to be paid to make sure that we provide that. But first of all, you, the voters, have to decide how you want to fund it. There's X number of dollars. There's a finite amount of money that the parish receives. Do you want to have roads and bridges? Do you want to have a beautiful jail? Do you want to have recreation? Do you want to have better community service opportunities such as town halls and so forth? So the people need to help us decide that. And again, I'm going to make sure that we talk to everybody across the parish. We're going to use our elected officials. We're going to use our leaders within each community, and we're going to help decide how that money should be spent for the jail. But we're going to make sure that we take care of it by whatever the Constitution says we have to. We're going to make sure the sheriff pays whatever he has to, and then we'll work out those differences, sitting down amicably between two elected officials that you trust to take care of us, our finances properly. Thank you.
Okay, so $350 per day is the state average. There's no way as parish president am I ever going to ask your tax dollars to pay more than that. The fact of the matter is, you just heard the first attempt to come back to you to take care of this problem. We've been kicking this can down the road since 1984. And finally, it's time to pick the can up and do something about it. The fact is that there is room in the parish budget to make the improvements to the jail that need to be there. The $350 a day is a state average. That's what's going to happen. The sheriff is going to have to do just like I will as parish president. He's going to have to tighten his belt. He's going to have to dig deep into his budget, and he's going to have to make this work for the people of this parish. Fact of the matter is, people, let me tell you something. Crime is a growing problem in this parish. Right now, the majority of our jail space is being taken up by state and federal prisoners because of this crazy amount of money that DOC pays us. The fact of the matter is, we're going to have to find a way. The sheriff's going to have to find a way to do away with those guys. We're going to have to find a way in our budget to improve the conditions for the sheriff. So I can tell you as parish president, I know I have the tools. I've studied the budget. I know what has to happen for this to work for the people of this parish. It cannot affect your parks, your bridges, your bricks and mortar. Thank you.
Okay, the next question is going to Mr. Notriano. What are your top 3 infrastructure projects in the parish?
Well, let me just tell you this. This is a big parish, and there's a lot of infrastructure needs in this parish. It's going to be very difficult to pick out top 3 because there are people from the north end of this parish as well as people from the south end of this parish. Before I do this, I'm going to preference this with the fact that I do know about all the infrastructure needs in this parish, but your question is the top 3. I would say probably my first one is probably South Airport Road from Interstate 12 to Highway 22. There's no reason why we have not gotten the state to take that road over and widen that road. When you're talking about infrastructure needs, in most cases, you don't want to do this just because it looks good, but there's public safety issues involved there. That is a very dangerous thoroughfare, and it's a very heavily traveled thoroughfare. Let's talk about the 3 main east-west corridors on the south end of the parish. You've got the 22 corridor, I-12, and 190. Airport Road now feeds all 3 of those. Airport Road from 190 to I-12 is now owned by the state, widened, and everything's good there. But when you go south of there, that's one of the projects that I would rally the state immediately, try to get them to take it into their maintenance system on some type of trade, which we've done in the past, and immediately go in there and widen that road and make it safe for travel for the amount of traffic that we have on there. It's crazy. I would say probably the second would probably be another east-west corridor over in Hammond in terms of maybe extending Club Deluxe Road. We at one time, parish government at one time, owned a right-of-way going from where the OTK valve was there across the railroad tracks to Range Road. Reacquire a right-of-way there and make another east-west corridor there. The third would be infrastructure. Okay, sorry, I'll get back to you on that third one.
Top 3 infrastructure. First of all, let me explain to you, whenever I asked that we're going to talk to the people about this, there's no attempt to make you pay for anything that you don't want to pay for. There's no attempt. We're just going to inform the people, help us decide. I'm going to lead, and we're going to do the right thing. And it's $3.50 minimum, not average. Priorities for the infrastructure, our north end roads, our north end part of the parish has many gravel roads, more gravel roads than the south end. We need to make sure we try and get that disproportionate effect corrected. I think working with the council, it's not going to be a problem because they're going to understand that their job is to make Tangipahoa Parish better along with their individual districts. I think we have some sewer issues. I know we have some sewer issues in the north end of the parish with some of our municipalities. We need to use our grant department to help them create the plans to be able to pull their sewer system straight. And we do need, I believe, we need a north-south route on the eastern part of the traffic, the parish, to try and help move for hurricane evacuation, economic development, and just moving our traffic north and south throughout the parish. Thank you.
Okay, this question goes to Mr. Miller first. Do you plan to continue the current pay-as-you-go system? If not, how do you plan to finance infrastructure improvements in the parish?
Yes, I do plan to keep the pay-as-you-go. It's served us well over the past 30 years. It's kept us financially secure and sound. How do we improve? How do we increase our revenue? We bring jobs to Tangipahoa Parish. Right now, in Tangipahoa Parish, there's 450 truck drivers needed. Advertised in Tangipahoa Parish. If we can figure out how to create those like we did for machinists, where we created the machine shop program, certified machinist at the North Shore Technical College through Hammond Economic Development, through North Shore Technical College, and get machinists created who make $75,000 a year. If we can get truck drivers, the 125 machinists working and the 450 truck drivers working, that's about $60 million worth of income to our parish. Those people will spend that money here. Our tax revenue will go up. We start wisely spending our money and monitoring and managing our money properly, and then we can do some infrastructure projects with that. We can also plan ahead and put money aside, more money into economic development, so we bring more jobs to Tangipahoa Parish. Everything we do should be focused on bringing more jobs, increasing our quality of life, and whenever we increase the jobs, we increase the pay that comes here, our tax dollars go up. Thank you.
Repeat that question for me, please. I don't know if
Absolutely.
what the right question is.
Do you plan to continue the current pay-as-you-go system? If not, how do you plan to finance infrastructure improvements in the parish?
Okay, I'm going to talk real fast because I believe Chris uses a different watch for me. Look, here's the deal with pay-as-you-go. There's not a candidate up here, if there were more of us, that can say they're against pay-as-you-go, because you can't be against pay-as-you-go. In 1983, you as the people of this parish levied yourself a 1 cent dedicated sales tax for road and bridge use only. It's mandated. No one can touch it. 75% of it goes to road and bridge, 25% for administrative cost. You cannot touch it. It's only good for 4 years. No one would loan you bond money on an income that is only good for 4 years. No one. So I can't do it. You can do it, because it would take first a vote of the council to send it to the people, and the people would have to vote to increase that 4 years to 8 years, 12 years, 16 years, so on and so forth. Let me just give you a little footnote to think about, though, when you're talking about pay-as-you-go, okay? 10 years ago, it cost an average of $70,000 to $80,000 a mile to blacktop a road. That's a standard blacktop road dependent on the base. Today, it costs anywhere from $140,000 to $160,000 a mile. So I want you to think about something, those of you who are good at math. Think about what we left laying on the table in the last 10 years when that price doubled and tripled. If we had only went 16 years or 12 years, and it would have cost you absolutely no more than what you're paying. Think about that.
Question number 7 goes to Mr. Notriano first. What specifically, as parish president, can you do to support and enhance education in the parish?
That's a great question. Let me tell you what we did. One of the first things we did in this campaign is we ran a poll. It was a great poll we ran back in June, and it was an issue-based poll, and I used a very good pollster to do it. We didn't want to know a poll about if the election were tomorrow, who you would vote for. We weren't worried about that. We wanted to get into the minds of the voters and just really see what the voters of this parish are thinking about. We asked one question: if you had to pick out one single problem, the most single issue, the worst issue of this parish, what bothers you the most, all of you may be able to guess education was one of them. Now let me just tell you this. As parish president, your role is limited when it comes to education. But typically what we've done in parish government is two things. We've made sure we provided roads and bridges for school buses, and we put gravel on school bus turnarounds. To me, the parish president's job is much bigger than that. We have to get involved with this community. We have to improve our image from our school systems to our infrastructure to our economic development, so on and so forth. That's the way we're going to grow this parish. That's the way we're going to improve our image. That's the way we're going to be able to become a player on the North Shore. Right now, we're in a region on the North Shore that, quite frankly, we are lagging behind. We're going to have to start in the schools. I can tell you I would never overstep my boundaries as parish president, but Mr. Colway and I have had that talk. I see in our future a blue ribbon committee, a multi-agency committee to come together and meet quarterly to make a list of where we are, make a list of the things that we want, the things that we need, and start working on them. We can't get there if we don't start somewhere. Thank you.
Got it. Well, when I'm elected parish president, we'll continue to do the things that I've done on the Hammond Economic Development Board. First of all, I could have saved you a lot of money on a poll if you didn't want to know what the first question economic developers ask when they come to a parish, because it's always education. Tell me about your school system. The school system needs support and leadership and involvement. On the Hammond Economic Development Board, we took a risk and stepped out there and backed the magnet tax for Hammond schools. We sent 2 resolutions to the school board and to Judge Lamel to please move forward and settle the DSEG case. But one of the things that I want to do is I want to make sure that our parish government employees are involved. I want to have a community involvement or service element to employment with the parish. And one of those places will be in the schools to go explain to those children that staying in school is important. We're going to create the jobs, finish school, and you'll have a job and be able to live in Tangipahoa Parish, raise your family, and enjoy your life here. Thank you.
This goes to Mr. Miller first. What, if anything, can the parish do to support locally owned small businesses?
Well, that's very good. One of the things that we can do is, one, make sure we have great leadership that's excited about our parish. We have great small businesses now. We need to make sure that we go into them like we do now in Hammond Economic Development, like TDF does through retention visits. One of the things we did was realize that there was a need for 125 machinists just a few years ago. By talking to our existing businesses, we went and produced a class at North Shore Technical College to certify machinists. We did it at Hammond Economic Development. We did a workforce development program for soft skills for 18 to 24-year-olds who might not have understood that in school, that you have to show up on time, you have to groom yourself properly, you have to be able to pass a drug test. We'll continue to do those to help and build the workforce. We'll make sure that we get rid of litter throughout the parish and blighted property to improve our image to the world. One of the things I really like to see us do is all the overpasses and underpasses of the interstate, that we clean them all up, that we logo them, that we make them different. So as business people drive through the parish, they just see something different about our parish. What is it? And start realizing that those underpasses and overpasses are neat and clean and nice. Those are the small things that make us look better and that people want to come here. Our local businesses are the bread, the life bread of our family, of our community. It is our family, really. And we want to make sure that we do everything we can to improve our opportunities for them. And I'll do that as parish president. Thank you.
Chambers of Commerce, we need to work with them as closely as we can. The area chambers try all they can every day to enhance local businesses and small businesses. TEDF does do a lot for local businesses. A shop at home campaign is huge. We all try to do that. I know my wife and I have had that discussion many times around the holidays. Let's try to buy that stuff at home. We need to turn that dollar more here locally. There are a lot of small businesses here, quite frankly, that suffer when we go outside of parish. And you know, this is kind of a tie-in to the economic development question that was asked earlier. Because we don't do a good job of attracting certain types of businesses here, we find ourselves going into other areas or in neighboring parishes who make purchases, but while we're there, we get gas, we eat, we go to the movies. That's taken from our small businesses. One of the things in this campaign I want you to pay close attention to is campaign finance. You will see where I did not take big checks from out of state and out of parish contractors and vendors. I've watched it for 12 years where local people were looked over because they did not contribute to the parish president. Watch my campaign finance, folks.
This question goes to Mr. Notriano first. How does the parish president unite the council for a project that will ultimately benefit the entire parish, even though a specific community may benefit over another?
Look, I've watched many nights, arguments on that council, the north-south split, if you will, unfriendly banter, just non-productive time spent on council meetings, and it's disheartening. I've also watched the parish president sit back and watch it go on. When you look at a Tangipahoa Parish Council agenda, you'll see a date, you'll see a prayer, you'll see an introduction, you'll see the parish president's report, and after that, you don't hear from the parish president anymore. I think the parish president is a bigger job than that. I don't think that meeting stops with his report. I can tell you right now that these council members know me. Some of them do, some of them don't. But I can tell you right now, as parish president, if there's something beneficial to this parish, it will not under my watch fall to the wayside because there are personalities and egos caught up on that council. And I've seen it happen. You got to remember, we have 10 councilmatic districts, and we have a lot of 5-5 splits. Per our charter, a 5-5 split, the motion dies. And that's unfortunate because I watched a lot of initiatives fall and go away that would have been good for our parish. But I'm going to answer your question with one word: leadership. Thank you.
How does the parish president unite the council for a project that will ultimately benefit the entire parish, even though a specific community may benefit over another?
To unite a group is just about all I've done my whole life. Through innovative leadership, through sacrifice. The council is elected to represent their district, but our councilmen, I believe, do see the bigger picture, and they do put the people of the parish, the whole parish, first. And as long as we all, myself, the council, puts the whole parish first, these projects are easy to do, because talking about something that's going to benefit the whole parish, it doesn't matter whether you live in Manchac or Kentwood. If it's good for a community and it's a big project, it's going to affect the whole parish and everyone gets better. Those are the easy ones. It's the tougher ones about how do you get more gravel roads paved in Kentwood and in Unitas and in East Fork. How do you get rid of those roads that the people want paved, but every councilman gets 2.5 miles of roads? That's going to take real leadership to help understand that to make the whole parish better. Sometimes we do have to give up a little bit. And I know our parish councilmen will do that because they always do the right thing at the end. Thank you.
Okay, last question of the night. This is going to Mr. Miller first. Do you consider litter to be an issue in the parish? What do you plan to do to address the issue, and what role does enforcement play in your plan?
Is litter an issue? Absolutely. It's been an issue to me since I remember walking anywhere with my parents. With us walking with our children, we pick it up. It's not just litter like that on the street. It's litter is thrown out. It's garbage. There's several things that can be done, but with enforcement, we need to match the law of the state, like the council's considering doing right now. It's a good move, and I'm sure they're going to do it. We need to make sure that our constables and our justices of peace are full up with the law and they're ready to support it and enforce it properly. We need to have the education system continued and expanded, that the LCDC, the Louisiana Children's Discovery Center, there's many partners, but the Louisiana Children's Discovery Center, the parish government, Entergy, and so forth are in the schools right now at the 2nd, 3rd grade level to make sure that they understand what litter does to our community and to our environment. We need to make sure that everyone, all of you, are litter abatement people. Everybody in this parish, as you walk here tonight, whenever you leave here and you're walking towards your car, in your path, pick up some piece of paper that you see, because there's going to be one or two, and if this 200 or 300 people go do that, we're going to clean up this whole section of Southeastern right now tonight. I'll make sure that we do that as a parish employee. You'll be expected to do that. Our parish is too beautiful and has too many great opportunities for us to just let it go. It needs to become top of mind awareness for all of us. Thank you.
Litter is pretty much one of those issues that's it's a work in progress. We'll always have litter in this parish, and that's unfortunate. You know, sometimes you see it more prevalent than others. The fact of the matter is we have inmate litter programs, which we need to put more emphasis on inside our public works department at certain times of the year. Whenever the grass cutters aren't cutting grass in the wintertime, they actually go out and pick up paper. We have civic organizations, and I want to take this minute, and I don't see her here, but I want to commend Tangipahoa. Let me tell you something. This is a group of volunteers in this parish that has been here for years, that has been doing a phenomenal job, and now they have groups even in the north in the parish. They started in the south in the parish. As parish president, I can tell you that I will make sure that I fortify every effort there is to eradicate litter in this program. The fact of the matter is it's going to start with education. We need a program in the schools, as DARE did for drugs. We need something to do that with our children, and one day it will breed the eradication of litter, hopefully. Thank you very much.
That's the end of our question segment. However, we are going to have closing remarks, 60 seconds for each of you, and the first person is Mr. Robbie Miller.
Thank you again to the chambers, to my alma mater, Southeastern SGA, and to all of you for being here. As we talked about tonight, you heard it several times, leadership is important. Leadership is what it's going to be about. I can tell you, since I was a high school football player, through college, and through our service here in the community, I've been a leader. I've been involved in every community organization in our parish, especially in Hammond where I live, and I'm ready now to take that service opportunity to the parish so that we can become the best in the state. I have the energy, I have the commitment and integrity, and I'm ready for the job. Thank you.
What you've heard tonight is one side of parish government. Parish government is an ideology side and a practical side. You've heard a lot of good ideas tonight from my opponent and myself. Some of them realistic, some of them very non-realistic. Let me just tell you the practical side of parish government. Every day, okay? You got to know the difference between a numbered lateral and a non-numbered lateral, and which one is which. You got to know what a flail moor is, a bush moor is. You got to know when a road needs a certain type of underlay, and you got to know when a road needs soil cement, when it does it, when it needs just simply just a 3-course treatment or a traditional asphalt. You got to know, you got to be able to have those employees come to you every morning and tell you about their problems. You got to be a people person. I am approachable, I'm accessible, I'm knowledgeable in parish government. And I want to make one statement here tonight before I close. Unfortunately, rumors do fly. Carlos Notriana is not going to fire our parish employees. Carlos Notriana will make their environment better, and I will not close parish agencies. This job is for Carlos Notriana, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very serious. It's in my heart. I'm asking you tonight to listen and learn and look at these candidates very closely between October 24th. I'm asking for your vote and your support on October 24th. God bless Tangipahoa Parish and all of us who live in her.
Okay, since you already gave them a round of applause, you took one of my sentences away. So I am just going to say, gentlemen, thank you for your willingness to serve and, of course, to offer your ideas and plans to the public. I'd now like to invite Aaron Kauser, the chairman of the Greater Hammond Chamber of Commerce, to the podium for closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley, and thank you to our candidates and officiator, Chris Moody. You did a wonderful job with the yellow and red cards here tonight. Thank you very much. Let's all give them one more round of applause. And honestly, both of the gentlemen that are on the stage here tonight have impeccable records. They are both wonderful leaders, and to run for public office is a big step. It is a full-time commitment, and I know we've already given lots of round of applauses, but let's one more time thank them for putting it out there and being candidates for this position, because it is a commitment for you and your families, and I know it's not an easy task, and thank you for your willingness to serve.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Don't forget, you can use the Secretary of State's Go Vote voter portal, an app for easy access to all ballot information, and there's going to be a lot on the ballot this time. Full list of races and candidates. You can find it in the App Store or online at geauxvote.com. And if I'm not mistaken, there will be a computer set up on the way out if you want to go ahead and check it out and see what that's all about and get it loaded up on your cell phone. Excuse me. Before we dismiss, I'd like to thank our media partners, Action News 17, the Southeastern Channel, the Daily Star, KSLU 90.9 FM, North Shore Broadcasting, and K-Team Printing for generously printing tonight's programs, as well as Southeastern Louisiana University for providing tonight's venue. The AMEET Ponchatoula and Greater Hammond Chambers and the Southeastern SGA, thank you for being here this evening. We hope this helped educate you on local issues and assist you with casting your votes on October 24th. An informed electorate is the foundation for a healthy and vibrant local community, and it is the pleasure and indeed the responsibility of your local chambers to facilitate in that regard. Thank you for being here tonight. Have a wonderful evening.